Hello, listeners. I'm Timstradamus, and welcome to another Feel Good Friday. Joining me, as always, is my talented and beautiful co-hostess, Voyse.
Good morning, Timstradamus, and welcome to everyone. It's just the start of the weekend.
Nice.
Thank you. I'm so excited. And I think I've got some really, I hope, heartwarming stories in store for us.
I pinched myself this morning to make sure no emotions.
No emotions. I find it funny because as I came up here and I put your mystery drink down on the table, you looked in there and you asked me, did you make me chocolate milk?
That's because I didn't believe we had chocolate milk in the house.
I would just like to let all of our listeners know, I had brought donuts a couple days ago from work, and Timstradamus has been enjoying the hell out of them. It's from
a huge box.
It's from a place that does like those really cool designs, and it's great. And I could see your disappointment in your eyes that you couldn't actually enjoy the chocolate milk because you didn't realize we had chocolate milk for these donuts.
When did we get chocolate milk in this house? I always drink it up, so I'm shocked we do. I'm pleasantly surprised. But yes, I could have been having chocolate milk with donuts.
I mean, at least you got the start of your weekend with some chocolate milk.
It is a Feel Good Friday.
And you still have more donuts to get through.
Oh, I have so many.
I've been trying to stay away from it because I don't need that many sweets. But oh man, do I want to join you in that binging? Well, go ahead. Pick up your delicious glass of choco milk.
In your very festive cup.
Thank you, thank you. I have to make sure that we're in the spirit.
Oh God, I love chocolate milk.
Well, if you're here, that means you're here for some feel-good stories. So why don't I go ahead and get right into it? For any listeners wanting to follow along, all story links are in the description below. For our first story, would I be the a-hole for telling my son to wear not his favorite jacket anymore because it looks gay?
Whoa, okay. Starting Feel Good Friday off with not so feel goods.
I'm a single dad to my son, Oliver, 10 male. He's with me most of the time and sees his mom every other weekend. He's an awesome kid, creative, full of energy, and he's got his own sense of style that's pretty unique. He loves bright colors, nail polish, and clothes that some people might think are more girly. If I'm honest, I think Oliver might be gay, and I'm totally cool with that. I've always made it clear that whoever he turns out to be, I'll support him 100%. Because of how he dresses and acts, Oliver's had a really tough time with other kids. He got bullied so badly at his old school that I ended up pulling him out and homeschooling him. The school wasn't helpful at all, and it was heartbreaking to see him go through that. He struggled to make friends, and it kills me to see him feel so alone. Now he's starting back at school in September, and he's really excited about it. But recently, we were at a cousin's birthday party, and Oliver wore his favorite jacket, which is a bright pink sparkly one that he loves. Some of the other kids started picking on him, saying he looked gay. I stepped in, got the kids to apologize, but it ruined the day for Oliver. I'm worried about how things will go when he's back at school. I've been thinking about whether I should talk to Oliver about maybe toning it down a bit, especially when he's around new people. Not because I want him to change who he is, but because I hate seeing him get hurt and feel like an outcast. I don't want him to feel like he has to hide who he is, but I also don't want him to be picked on or excluded because of it. But then I feel like a complete arsehole for even thinking about this. I don't want him to think that I'm ashamed of him or that he has to conform to be accepted. I want him to feel free to be himself, but I'm also scared of him being hurt by others who don't get it. So, would I be the a-hole if I talked to Oliver about maybe being a bit more low-key with his style? Now, normally, this would go on our AITA stuff, but this is a Feel Good Friday. There is a good twist to the story. I would like to know your viewpoint really fast on it because it is technically posing a question to us anyway.
It's a hard line to walk, I think, especially when you're talking about, because he's very aware of it. He says, I don't want my kid to feel ashamed of who they are. Like what you like. But I also understand how some kids look at other kids, and you're almost saying you're inviting the conflict by dressing differently. It sucks that parents have to feel that way towards their kids. I've heard it said many different ways, but it always equals about the same. Parents will go out of their way to make sure their kid is not different, because not different means, in their mind, safe. No bullying, no outcasting. So my best piece of advice to ROP, from parent to parent, there's going to be a lot of dick bags in the world. If your kid likes what he likes, you just have to instill that type of confidence in him. I would just say don't worry about other people and how they react to him. Give him the confidence. If that's what he likes, let him like it. He'll grow stronger from it, and you just have to learn to be resilient. We can't be defending our children from the outside. It doesn't do us or them any good. And I know that's hard to say as a parent.
Oh, definitely.
To other parents is let your kid walk through it, but sometimes that is the best course of action.
So if we're talking about a consensus on Reddit, there really wasn't one. Everyone kept putting out their experiences regarding bullying, especially when it comes to different areas. Some had where they've saw a lot of bullying and they were a part, unfortunately, of the environment where they were being bullied. And there were plenty of others that said that they didn't when it came to this kind of topic. I think one of the hardest things to admit as a parent is that there are times where you need to step back, where you want nothing more than to step forward and be their shield, but that doesn't help either of you in the long run. I have to agree. You just need to learn to be resilient and to give the tools to your child to make sure that they can grow. Well, we already gave our bit of advice. Now let's get on to the really feel-good stuff when it comes to this. So our OP provided us an update about a month later. And they said, hey, y'all, it's been about 26 days since my original post. And I thought I'd give an update now that Oliver has had his first week back at school. I can happily say that so far, things are going much better than I'd hoped. Over the summer, Oliver and I had a really important heart-to-heart. I sat him down and told him just how incredibly proud I am of the person he is becoming. I made sure he knew that there is absolutely nothing he could ever do that would change the way I see him or make me love him any less. Honestly, it was a bit emotional, and even I got a bit choked up. I told him that if wearing his favorite jacket, the one that's caused some hurt before, made him happy, I'd stand behind him 100%. But I also wanted to make sure he was prepared. I explained that while I'll always be there for him, I can't always be around to protect him, and he might have to stand up for himself if kids make fun of him. I made it clear that this doesn't mean he should change anything about who he is, but that he needs to be ready to handle it if anyone says anything cruel. Oliver understood, and we spent the summer coming up with some playful comebacks together. He really wanted to take the jacket with him to school, so we made it a bit of a project, imagining the kind of things kids might say and crafting witty replies that he could fire back with. It was actually pretty fun, and I think it helped him feel more confident about it. Now, back to school. His new teacher knows all about his past struggles with bullying, and she's been amazing. She's keeping a close eye on things and making sure he feels safe and comfortable. It's made such a difference already, and Oliver's first week couldn't have gone better. He's even made a friend, a boy named Sam, and they've really hit it off. They're planning to meet up tomorrow at the Wacky Warehouse, and Oliver can't stop talking about it. It's been a long time since I've seen him this excited about spending time with someone his age. I know it's still early days, but seeing him come home happy and smiling each day has been such a relief. Thanks to everyone who gave advice and encouragement on my original post. I really took a lot of it to heart, and I think it made a big difference in how I approached all this.
Sounds like we have a good dad. He's able to give his son support and guidance. Gave him the confidence to start looking at himself and not thinking that he's the problem. And that's important. And the fact that he recognized that he can't fight his son's battles for him, and then his son's being given the tools to start handling the bullying in a more constructive way than internalizing it. Ends up his son's got a friend now, and he's looking forward to spending time with Sam. So good for Sam and Oliver and his dad.
Well, I've got a final update
There's
that'll
another
let us
one?
know how Sam and Oliver are doing.
Let's go.
So our OP says, hey, I just wanted to hop on and give a small update about Oliver's play date over the weekend. Firstly, when Oliver was getting... I knew it. Firstly, when Oliver was getting ready, he wanted to wear all of his flamboyant clothes. He asked me if I thought it was a good idea. His friend had seen him in his jacket, but he was a little worried how he would react to the full Oliver. I told him to wear whatever he wanted, and if this friend was worth being friends with, they would accept him for exactly how he is. This made Oliver smile. He wore his full Oliver outfit. When we were walking in, I could feel Oliver getting a bit nervous. He was bullied so much in his last school for how he was, so I understood why. I held his hand tight and gave it 2 squeezes. This means I love you, something I learned to teach him from Reddit, actually. The friend's dad was with him, and he looked at Oliver and gave a little curious look, but apart from that, it was fine. The boy said he loved Oliver's clothes. They spent about 4 hours playing, and we ended up eating together. On the way home, I told Oliver how proud I am of the little man he is. I am so proud how he is so willing to be himself and so brave to continue despite any backlash he gets. I love him so much. This is my final update on this account. I don't know if I'll ever show you these posts, Oliver. Maybe in a few years when you're older so we can laugh at how worried I was about you. Your dad is so proud of you. I think you are the most amazing person in the whole world, even when you drive me absolutely nuts. I am so lucky to get to be your father. I am so lucky you are in my life. I love you.
What a good story. I think this one is one of those, if you are a parent, if you're lucky enough to be a parent, and I know people say it all the time, but you learn just as much from them as they do you. And it's funny. He's like, I maybe I will show you this so we can laugh about how worried and concerned I was. And, you know, we all have those moments. You know, and he was able to give his son some really good advice. You know, if a friend can't accept you for who you are, they're not a friend.
You see it from a father's perspective on how he can best help his son. And I'm so glad that Redditors were actually able to provide some insight into navigating this whole situation and him realizing that he needs to work through instilling that confidence and that support in his son so that his son can stand up for himself, even if they make it some fun game where apparently they're just trying to make comebacks for potential situations that might come up. So let's go on to our next story. And this one's very short, but I hope it will provide some insight for others on something as simple as a compliment. A stranger complimented me. Today, I chose as an outfit a long white skirt, a black top, and a white cardigan, complemented by a cute white hat. The thing is that I always put effort in my outfits, and it's the first time that this happened to me, and now I understand the feeling other Redditors when they post about a stranger complimenting their looks or outfits. She said, "Wow, you look amazing in those clothes." It took me by surprise, so I just could say, "Oh, thank you." But I felt extremely happy, and since then, I can't stop smiling. Made my day.
You would be shocked at how much one little compliment can... Because it sounds like a very small thing to do, but... yeah, I try to pepper them around when I can.
Oh, you've heard me pepper from nails to earrings to necklaces.
Voyse loves giving them around anywhere we go.
I know when someone wears or puts something on that they put a lot of thought into it, whether it's a lot of thought in that someone gave that to me and it makes me feel special, or they put a lot of thought into just their outfit in general, their style, the theme. There's so many different things. Something as small as your looks, because we're told not to let looks be everything in your life, but at the same time, it's the only way that someone who doesn't know you gets a glimpse of who you are.
Sure.
So the best thing that I love is to make someone's day by giving them a compliment. And I can't tell you how many times I've seen from shy smiles to you could tell that they were having this bad day because they just had this super serious sort of focused in look where you can tell they were kind of miserable and everything just loosens up in their body and They've received something nice from a stranger. I love being able to do that. And I hope by reading this story that for our listeners, they remember. Maybe compliment the person in front of you. Actually see their smile and see that you made their day just by that one little word of, I love that necklace on you, or that color looks great on you, or your outfit looks great. Your hair is amazing. I love your nails. Something so simple can really change someone's perspective, and a bad day might just clear away into something quite beautiful.
Compliments definitely have that effect on people. You'd be shocked by just putting a little bit of good out in the world. Don't feel forced into giving someone a compliment, though. Just if you have the opportunity, maybe.
I will say this. The best compliment that I ever received was from you, Timstradamus. And it was when you first saw me and I had my face covered up, except I showed you just my eyes because, of course, I needed to see you too. And you told me my eyes looked beautiful. And I can't tell you, I was born with blue eyes and I was told my blue eyes were beautiful. And I thought the eyes were the window to who I am as a person. When I smile, it reflects. When I'm sad, it reflects. My eyes show everything to me. And when I stopped getting compliments that my eyes were beautiful because they had changed to brown, and I felt like the same as my eyes had changed to a darker color, it's like my feelings also changed to that darker color. And I felt like my eyes were no longer special, especially since I was no longer receiving compliments on it. I thought nobody saw me. When you looked at me and you told me my eyes looked beautiful, I can't tell you just how much that actually affected me. So compliments do go a long way.
Yes, they do. And you have very beautiful brown eyes.
Thank you.
Well, took that down a different path today.
Compliments.
And you guys look great today.
And I hope you have an amazing day.
And weekend, because this is Friday, baby.
It is time for us to party, even if it's just quietly with a book in the corner. That's cool too.
No matter how you party, as long as it's a good day and you're happy, that's all that matters.
That's right. And you know what? After this, we're going to see Practical Magic with a bunch of friends, and I can't wait.
Yep, we're going to some dinner
movie
party, watching Practical. I haven't seen Practical Magic in like a million years.
Neither have I, and I'm so thrilled. I'm going to dress up for it.
Yep.
I'm also making a cake.
Yep, we're doing the whole thing.
Yeah. Well, we'd love to hear what your weekend plans are, but if you're seriously still here, go get your weekend started. You can tell us afterwards.
Get out of here.